going to start off the afternoon with the national anthem. Everyone will please stand.
As you join us here at the Ritz-Carlton, good afternoon. We are here on Power 106 FM. It is time for our live program of the Elaine Bryan Foundation fundraising, the national anthem.
First person I'm bringing to the stage right now is Dr. Elaine Bryan. She's the chair of the foundation. And I just want to say a couple of words about Dr. Bryan. You will find it in your program. She is an entrepreneur and former educator with a doctorate degree in educational leadership. She founded the Elaine Bryan Foundation to make significant civic and educational contributions to both the local and global communities. The foundation was established in 2010 as a platform for fulfilling Dr. Bryan's life's purpose, which is to empower today's youth. The foundation proudly celebrates 6 years of working to improve the lives of students. I think that deserves a round of applause. I just want to skip down real quickly to Dr. Bryan and what she's guided by, which is her trademark, which reads, the what approach. What you do with what you have determines what you become. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Elaine Bryan.
Dr. Elaine Bryan makes her way to the lectern. She is the founder and president of the Elaine Bryan Foundation, hosting this inspirational luncheon and awards at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. Just getting some assistance.
Just want you guys to see a quick presentation.
On today's program, we tell you how Jamaicans locally and overseas have been benefiting from the Elaine Bryan Foundation. Stay tuned. The Elaine Bryan Foundation was established in 2010 to improve the academic and career success of students through public and private partnerships. The organization assists young achievers to acquire scholarships, jobs, and internships that could help propel their academic and professional careers. Founder, Jamaican-born Dr. Elaine Bryan, decided to establish the organization after receiving several awards for her outstanding contribution to education and voluntary service in Atlanta, Georgia, where she now resides. The foundation was born out of a vision by Dr. Bryan to give worthy students the opportunity to pursue their dreams.
The foundation is really to empower. We do a lot of programs program to empower students and to connect them with mentors and to connect them with opportunities in general.
The foundation has assisted many young persons through its partnership with Microsoft to develop professional relationships and garner career training from experts in the field of science and technology.
I would say we have had about maybe 35 Jamaicans, some of whom have returned to Jamaica. I have had Jamaicans who have been coming to the Microsoft program and they eventually got jobs, and some of them actually left and went to Georgia Tech.
The Elaine Bryan Foundation focuses on 3 core principles: to empower, enlighten, and mentor youth through private and public partnerships. The foundation offers support to students 15 to 21 years old who are interested in pursuing studies in science, technology, energy, and mathematics STEM.
They get monetary assistance, computer software, computers, and assistance in college. It depends on their need.
College graduate Hannah Williams says the foundation has afforded him the chance to develop professional relationships that continue to guide his career journey.
Being from Jamaica, she would always look out for us, and she helped me and my brother. She took him to a Microsoft convention, and she gave him laptops to help him with his work. And she also, helped us monetarily, our parents as well.
Jamaican father Peter Allen says the foundation has been providing assistance to his daughter, who is pursuing a degree in computer science.
It has really reached awareness in terms of computer appreciation, computer application. Getting your own gadget and learning how to bring software online, manipulate software, it has really impacted her positively.
Student of the North Springs High School in the United States, Alana Wright Howard, has been a part of a Microsoft seminar organized by the Elaine Bryan Foundation for the past 2 weeks. Alana, whose parents are Jamaicans, tell us about the experience.
It's actually been really helpful. We've done coding to start our own game, actually. Before I had little to none with computer experience. So this program really helped me to learn how to work around the computer. And because of the people that came in to talk to, they opened my eyes to see that the work field is very competitive.
Another beneficiary, Stone Cruz, is the proud recipient of a full scholarship to participate in the Microsoft program organized by the foundation annually. Stone attended the St. John Preparatory School while living in Jamaica.
For the past 2 weeks, we've had mentors come in and talk to us about their jobs and any technology in their field.
To find out how you or your child can benefit from opportunities through the Elaine Bryan Foundation, visit elainebryanfoundation.org.
We have a screening process because we have board members who look at the application, and that's how we determine who gets it and how much.
Atlanta-based Jamaican educator Dr. Elaine Bryan. Dr. Bryan is the recipient of the 2012-2013 Life Change of the Year Award. She is also an Atlanta Mayor's Phoenix Awardee, Leadership Sandy Springs Alumni Council member, and Counselor of the Year. Dr. Bryan is a Northwestern University graduate and the daughter of Dudley Carl Grant, United States-based former Jamaican entrepreneur.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service.
Thank you, Gregory. Thank you for patiently waiting for us to begin the program. This program today is really about students who have worked very hard and have shown a commitment to service and technology. Everything in the STEAM program, science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. And I wanted to devote my life to assisting these youth, to empower them if they need empowerment, to provide them with mentorship, but we don't want to force them. We want it to be natural. We want them to be natural leaders. And once we see that they are interested, we will provide opportunities for them. Microsoft has been our partner for many years, and today we have Carol here from Microsoft, who is helping us to provide the students with computers. Those who have worked very hard, we want them to know we appreciate them. I welcome all the dignitaries in the room today, and as the time goes by, we will introduce them properly. I just want to respect their time and proceed now with Gregory introducing one of our main speakers, who we admire very much. He talks about this pilot and how he ran after his dream, and we are so delighted to have him here today, Barrington, but my husband, Gregory Bryan, who I really appreciate because he worked all night to get this together. We only have a small board, and so we appreciate your patience and thank you for understanding. Now we'll have Gregory come to introduce Mr. Barrington Irving. Thank you.
Thanks, Elaine. Apologize for the technical difficulties with the little slideshow there, but at least you guys could hear it. My name is Gregory Bryan. I am Elaine's husband. Most of you that know me know that when I grow up, I want to be a pilot. So I follow aviation news a lot, and in following it, I noticed there was an African-American guy attempting to fly around the world. And when I dug into it some more, I realized he's Jamaican. I said, okay, makes sense. So you know, I've been following Barrington's career for quite a while. I'm you know, very impressed with what he has done and what he continues to do. But I just, you know, wanted to say that I'm extremely happy that you're here, that you took the time to be with us today, and I'm very proud of the work that you currently do with children. I'm going to let Barrington tell his own story, but just briefly, he grew up in one of the inner cities in Florida, Miami, Florida. His parents owned a Christian bookstore, and one day, United Airlines captain came into the bookstore and in his uniform, and turned out to be another Jamaican, and said to Barrington if he ever considered a career in aviation. And at the time, Barrington was an athlete, actually about to get some football scholarships to some major colleges, and he, you know, never thought about going to aviation. The captain took him to the airport the next day and put him in the cockpit of a 777, and from there he was hooked. But that was just the beginning of the story. But I'm very impressed with what came afterwards, and I'm just imagining that discussion with his parents, where college was pretty much set and paid for, and then now he's saying, Mom and Dad, you know, I want to be a pilot. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet. I don't know how I'll pay for it, but somehow he managed to do it and more. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a fantabulous Atlanta welcome to Captain Barrington Irving.
Captain Barrington Irving making his way to the lectern. He greets Gregory Bryan and takes up his position.
Well, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, I should say, sorry. No worries. All right, good. Everyone can see the screen? Yes. All right, well, I'm very grateful to be here, and I'd also like to salute the Elaine Bryan Foundation for giving me this opportunity to share my story with you all. I'm sure a lot of people have been wondering what have I been up to these past few years, which I'll touch on. I know I only have 15 minutes, to talk to you guys a little bit. But this, honestly what attracted me in wanting to come here was, to see the work of what you both are doing in the communities, and it's such a great need. And really, all of us should truly honor the Elaine Bryan Foundation. So, yes, Greg, you're right. Everybody says first African American to fly around the world, but I never forget my roots. Right, so for those of you who don't know, I was born in Kingston, Jamaica, and moved to Miami, Florida at the age of 6. My father is from Mobay, my mother is from St. Catherine, and of course we moved when I was 6 years old. We came from very humble beginnings. I grew up in 2 of the 3 worst neighborhoods in Miami. That was Liberty City and Opa-locka. Some of you guys are very familiar. And while growing up, I played for a high school team that was ranked #1 in the entire country. Football was everything to us. That's all I wanted to do. All I cared about. Until one day I was in a store minding my own business, and this guy walks in, dressed in uniform like that. I saw him step out of a white Lincoln Navigator dressed in uniform. I'm just staring at the guy like, man, this brother looks like he makes a lot of money. So he sees that I'm staring at him and walks over to me and says to me, hey son, have you ever thought about becoming a pilot? I said to him, sir, I don't think I'm smart enough to fly a plane, but I asked one simple question. I said, man, how much money do you make? And his response to me, he said, son, I make $117 an hour. And when he told me that, I mumbled under my breath, and I said, legally? He said to me, yeah, son, this is actually what I do. On that day, I took an interest in aviation. And this is my former high school teacher, Miss Batiste. Take a look at her face. When I was in school, I absolutely couldn't stand this woman. Miss Batiste was one of those educators who could care less how good of an athlete I was. She saw more potential in me than I saw in myself. And she said to me, Barrington, you need to pursue a career in aviation versus football. I said, Miss Batiste, I'm a great player. This is what I want to do. If it wasn't for the teacher I couldn't stand, I wouldn't be here right now. That's why this is important. That's why it's important, Elaine, what you're doing, because I thought football was the greatest thing ever. Played for a team ranked #1 in the country. How many of them made it to the NFL? Only 2. Thanks to this thing we call science, technology, engineering, and math, I've made more money than both of them combined. Right? There are real opportunities for our young people in these fields that they don't understand and realize. But when I said I wanted to fly around the world, for 2.5 years, people told me no. That's one of my rejection letters. I know we're in the backyard of Coca-Cola, so I might as well get a laugh. Right? And when I said I wanted to fly around the world, this is the one pair of dress shoes that I owned. Notice I have 3 holes in the bottom of those shoes. Wore these shoes with no shame to major aviation events like this one, walking from booth to booth, asking people to help me fly around the world. Now, of course, in order to fly around the world, the first thing you need is an airplane. This was my first airplane. For those of you asking, the Jamaican flag is... That's my answer for right now. All right? Now, when I said I wanted to fly around the world, no one wanted to rent me a plane, lease me a plane, let me borrow one, nothing. So I learned something in my neighborhood. I was never a part of this growing up, but I saw it happening all the time. What happens when someone steals a car and the police can't find the vehicle? They strip the car, right? Go to the chop shop. When I saw that, I said to myself, hold on, different companies make different parts of a vehicle? I thought it was only one company. There's only one logo on the front of the vehicle. I realized that, and I analyzed all the different companies who made different parts of this airplane. The seats cost $30,000, the engine $83,000, avionics equipment $70,000. And instead of asking them for money, I simply asked them to donate the part to me and I'll build a plane. And that's how I was able to outsmart the system and get my hands on a plane that cost $650,000. Youngest person to fly around the world prior to me was 37 years of age. Was able to accomplish at the age of 23. Although physically I was the only person in the aircraft, I worked with a team of over 80 different individuals in order to pull this off. Had no weather radar, no de-icing, and back then I didn't know how to swim back then. So I had some issues, but my only form of communication was through this black box. That was my only form of communication, sending text messages back and forth. Very challenging trip to do. It's just me in Cairo, Egypt. Egypt is a funny story. When I landed there, I was greeted by guys with flip-flop shorts and AK-47s pointing straight at my airplane. And you know, when you think you're about to die, you sometimes do crazy things. And I remember my airplane doesn't have a window I can physically open. So I remember when I landed, I kept my hands up, and I'm just saying, you know, I have my permit, I have everything I need, and I really thought these guys were going to shoot at me. And then the last second, I thought to myself, hold on. So I started pointing to my skin color. And I yelled and I said, I'm your brother, I'm your brother. And there were no problems, no issues. Flying around the world is truly challenging. After flying around the world, I started to work with young people. This was the first project we did. Challenged 60 kids from failing schools in Miami to build an airplane from scratch. This was a plane they built in 10 weeks. The young lady on the left-hand side, when she started out with me, could point out a ½ an inch on a ruler. She just graduated from Duke University last year as a math major. Making $73,000 a year now at the age of 23 and asking me for tax advice. All right, that's what this is about. I then challenged middle schoolers to build me a car faster than a Ferrari 430 Spider. For those of you in the room, there's a Jamaica. All right. We then started replicating our programs in different parts of the United States, and we built magic like this one. This one was built right here in DeKalb Public Schools. Wow. Completed a few months ago. So now to answer the question everyone's been asking me, what have I been up to since flying around the world in 2007? I started an education tech company. The reason why I've been tight-lipped about it is, one, we've been growing like crazy. We've doubled in size every year since 2014. We've been taking away market share from a number of major companies. But what we basically decided to do was I transformed this business jet into a real-life magic school bus. And I fly around the world exploring math and science. Why? Because many kids sit in school today and ask themselves 3 core questions. When am I ever going to use this? Why does this matter? And who honestly cares? So I decided to create a curriculum to address a core issue of answering those questions. Because the issue in education today, yes, we have to deal with technology issues, but at the core, the issue is content. Students are bored. What are we actually doing to engage them? So we travel around the world, conducting different expeditions. One of my co-pilots there, and we've been to every continent except for Antarctica. I'm also an explorer for National Geographic, and we conduct expeditions like this. How do you get kids to care about a subject like food waste and bacteria? Well, we spent 48 hours eating out the dumpster. Now, first hour of dumpster dive when we found over 500 pounds of food. Of that, only 19 pounds of it was spoiled. Here's a quick video clip of us eating out the dumpster in San Diego, California. Forgive me, I know it's lunchtime. Maybe the video might not work. Okay. Let's see. Sorry. Here's one we did on 3D printing. What you're looking at is one of the first ever 3D printed shoes. Nike has figured out a way where no longer you have to go to a department store to buy a brand new pair of shoes. In the near future, you'll be able to 3D print a brand new pair of Nikes at home on a 3D printer and walk out of your house with the money. There's another one we did in Israel. Focus on, I know, right? You guys thought I was going to talk about aviation all day. But this is one we did in Israel, focus on the digestive system. Swallow this camera pill to give students a virtual tour inside my body. Here's one of what it looks like when you don't take care of your body. Notice the difference. You're about to see it in a few seconds. There you go. All right. This is one we did with sea snakes. This creature bites you in 30 minutes, you're dead. As deadly as this creature is, it's also a huge lifesaver. Scientists have figured out you can alter the venom and DNA. I hope this video works. What you're looking at is a sea snake eating an eel twice its size. Oh, come on. It's actually a great video. I know some of you in here say, I don't want to see this, but I guess it's not going to work. But what scientists have figured out is that if you alter the venom in DNA, you can fight against heart attacks, heart disease, high blood pressure, and actually help human beings. We've conducted 30 expeditions to date. We travel around the world and get kids focused in math and science and literacy and all these other subjects. And we show them practically how you use this. This is one we did. I don't think it's going to ever run. Yeah, that's one we did where I jumped out of a plane at 30,000 feet. Actually, the first Jamaican to do it. And only the 172nd person to do it. We did a halo jump from 30,000 feet. Skydiver falls at 120 miles per hour. We're falling at 260 miles per hour. Temperature is minus 40 degrees. Highest a skydiver could go is 15,000 feet. We did it at 30,000 feet, but that video isn't loading. This is one of us in the Amazon. Probably don't see a snake in this picture. But it's the type of stuff we deal with now. 7 feet long. Also a huge lifesaver. The snake bites you in 10 steps a day, right? Of course, we take in different experiences, and everybody always asks me, what's the weirdest thing I've ever eaten? It's coming. There we go. That's a bat. That's fruit bat soup. I know I lost my Jamaican status. That's fruit bat soup. There's my contact information. I know I only had 15 minutes, but I just really want to applaud everyone here for supporting Elaine.
Captain Barrington Irving telling his story here at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to take a commercial break now and come back with more with this live broadcast on Power 106 FM coming to you from the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards. Back in a moment.
No offense, Captain, but I could have done without seeing Snake eat the eel. I was good at that.
It's coming up to 13 minutes to 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Kingston, Jamaica, which means it's 1:47 p.m. here in Atlanta, Georgia.
And they are going to play a selection. Ladies ready? Okay.
this is still Kylie. Thank you so much for joining us here on Tara 106 FM. We continue our live coverage of the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards taking place here at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. The Ronald sisters are entertaining the gathering now musically. Anna has been playing the violin since age 8, and she's a soloist and a member of an ensemble. She has performed internationally, and her sister Alice grew up in Roswell here in Georgia, and she has been immersed in the arts alongside her twin sister Anna since a very young age. Let's tell you that this event is sponsored by Couples Resort Jamaica, J&B Bank, Water, the Lena Communications Group, Caribbean Producers, Rainforest Seafoods, Select Brands, Caribbean Airlines, Fraser Fontaine and Khan, Dolphin Cove, John Swady, Jamaica Arts Holdings, Cool Petroleum Pavilion, Lion Pride, Hampton Equity Partners, Marksman, Carrie Elizabeth, East 5th Avenue, Richmond, Idlewild, Quality Images, Assembly Line Technologies, First Inline JA.com, just a moment while we sponsorship between the Elaine Bryan Foundation and a big event which is coming up, the evening with air supply, rain or shine, with special guest
And next we will have Dr. Elaine Bryan. She will introduce the scholarships and awards presentation.
So presentations to be made in just a moment by Dr. Elaine Bryan. So Dr. Elaine Bryan is about to announce the scholarship recipients, and so she makes her way to the stage. She has the representative from Microsoft as well as the CEO of Golden Crust Caribbean Bakery and
Thank you for
Grill.
coming, everyone. And now we'll have the awards for the students. We're going to start with Carol, who has a presentation.
Good afternoon, everybody. everybody. I'm Carol Megan with Microsoft. I'm over the business department at the Linux Microsoft store. Microsoft is pleased to be a sponsor for Dr. Bryan's event, and we want to present a Surface Pro 4 for the recipient for the summer STEAM program.
Now could the following students come to the podium: Bradley Seaton, Tariq Booker, Damon Beckford, Zion Briggs, Gabriel Davis, Nina Quinn. And we also have adults who have done outstanding work in the community. And those are Miss Kay Edmonds from Morehouse School of Medicine, and Miss Norma Rushin, retired principal. Please come to the podium.
I would let them finish. So the representatives, youngsters on stage to receive their awards, the announcements in detail.
In the interest of time, I'm going to go real fast here because I know, we want to start, move along, and people are very busy today as well, and they have plane to catch and all that. So what I wanted to do is to tell you that, we have this Microsoft program going on now for several years, and they provide the students with surfaces, different things to enhance learning, and they have been a very good partner because they're not just talking, they're really actually helping the students, and this has been a tremendous help to the Elaine Bryan Foundation. The thing that we want to do is to try to find students who have that thing inside, but all they need is a little help. It's very important because the school system is overburdened, as you can tell. Everybody wishes everybody well in the schools, but they can't do everything. Instead of us criticizing and finding faults of the public system and the private system, we wanted to find a solution to the difficulties and challenges that they face. And today, many educators are here today on a Sunday. Could all the educators in the room please rise? Dr. Cox, Ms. Pinson, Mr. Wright, Dr. Pottinger. I can stand here all day naming all of you. Ms. Gwendolyn, Kay, and Ms. Russian, all of you have done hard work in the system. And sometimes people don't know what we're doing because it's behind the scenes. Sometimes it's at midnight, following up with a parent, trying to push a child who feels hopeless. So we just want to salute you today, and one day I know I'm going to be in a position to recognize educators for what they are doing, just like Grammy and Emmy Awards. I'm going to be able to do it, and we will live to see it in this room. Thank you. Okay, so first we start with Bradley Seaton. The students come first. We want to give them all the photos that they can get. I'm also with Mr. Horton, undercover boss. He's no longer Golden Cross CEO. He's the undercover boss celebrity. So we want to thank him for coming here and giving. You want to say a few words about the books? Okay, later. Okay, he's just going to quickly present each of the students with one of his books, so in appreciation for their outstanding work, and also Microsoft representative. Thank you, sir, for that. That was a nice addition to the gift, the prize giving. We didn't expect it. We appreciate it. Next, we have Terry Booker. Terry Booker. I wanted you all to know that I noticed firsthand Terry Tyree Booker at Stone Mountain High School, that he's always helping the school. He's going out of his way, but it's one of those things that if somebody didn't point it out, I would not have recognized the secret person who is working behind the scenes in many ways. And so I just wanted to tell him we salute him. He also did an app, I think under Congressman Johnson's guidance. He was in a competition, a STEM competition by the congressman, and he was one of the winners. And Congressman Johnson has been very helpful in education in Georgia. I know some of you mentioned you didn't know who he was, but it's very important for us to know our leaders who are really making a difference, because that's what it's all about. A lot of us talk, you know, and we're very eloquent. But really and truly, we want to start to acknowledge the ones who show results and who are paying attention to our youth, because they are our future. And without them doing well, we have a very dim future. So we want to pay importance to this part of the program because it's all about the youth right now. So we want to stand and give Kerry a round of applause for his outstanding work for the high school behind the scenes of our meeting. Get a computer.
Elaine. So presentations being made to the students by the Elaine Bryan Foundation in collaboration with Microsoft.
Next we have Zion Briggs. Zion Briggs is from Riverwood High School. Zion is a hard worker and is still trying to find his passion, and I'm going to get it out of him. And he is getting closer to it. And his parents have been very supportive, and he comes to the center and helps a lot. I have a center on Roswell Road, 4651 Roswell Road, where I help the students with science, engineering, whatever they want to know. I find somebody to help. My husband Gregory is very helpful to them because he knows about everything, and I mean he does know everything. And believe me, he works hard, and you know, he's always running behind the different dreams, and I really want to salute him. By the way, could you all rise and give my husband a big round of applause? Thank you so much. Thank you so much, because I have to stop dreaming, because what it means, he's working with the dreams. So I'm going to slow down on the dreams so he can rest a little next year. So we have Zion Briggs, who will also get a computer for all his hard work, community service with Riverwood High School and in the community. So Ms. Carol will present him a Dell computer from Microsoft. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because we want them to know you're moving when it comes up, sir. Okay, now the next person we want to have is Gabriel Davis. Is Gabriel? Come on, Gabe. I met Gabe some years ago from his teacher at North Springs High School, who told me, Elaine, I have a student, you have to meet him. So he came to the Microsoft program for 4 weeks one summer. His mom is in the room. Miss Davis, could you come up to the podium, please? The reason why she has to come is because Dave calls her every day to drive him to my office when I'm off. So I want her to come. And you know, he didn't have a car, and she's like, oh, you still want to go to Dr. Randy? Oh, you went yesterday. And when he comes, he's just working on different things. He did a presentation, which we'll show you during the meal, because we're trying to hurry up to start to eat everybody. Who is hungry? We're trying to move fast. So basically, during the meal, we'll show you all his work so that I don't have to hold up the show. Okay, we want to keep the show going on the road. So therefore, I just want to tell you, Miss Davis, she's a teacher at North Springs High School. She's very, very helpful to me with the Microsoft program. You know, we need people with a lot of expertise, and she's an expert in science. She's very, very good, teaches AP, science, and all the different things. She's excellent. And like I said, a lot of them go without praise. So I just wanted them on the stage today because we have to change it. You have to change it. Thank you.
Listening to Power 106 FM's live coverage of the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. We're past the break, but we're going to clear those commercials in a little while.
Now
First, let's finish the presentation.
Nina Quinn. Okay, I want to tell you a little bit about Nina, and I'm trying to rush, so I want to tell you that Nina has been in the program the longest time because she was in the program from when I was working at Chambly Charter High School, and so I've known her from she was a freshman in high school before that, and then she moved to North Springs High School, she continued the program, but Nina is always working. When Nina is with me, I call Northside Hospital, that's where she's volunteering. I mean, working for free at Northside Hospital. She does it every weekend. Now she's at Georgia Tech, she called me, Dr. Bryan, is there anything I can do to help you? I'm like, is this a child? Because you hardly get these calls. So I had to really say, Nina, are you going to help me? She said, oh, Dr. Bryan, I want to help you. And what she did, she actually created a logo that you see behind me. Nina created that logo. She's very artistic. And she said to me, Dr. Bryan, do you like butterflies? I said, I like anything that you like. I'm not fussy. Okay, so that's what she produced, EB, my initials, EB. Because you see, I had this great dream when I was Elaine Grant. And now that I'm Elaine Bryan, it's now EB in honor of my husband. Now, I want to thank Nina so much. She's now at Georgia Tech. You can look in the book, so I don't have to take too much time. If you look in the book, you'll see the recipients. I want you to take a moment to just look at the book. And thank you, Nina. So could we get a photo with her? Thank you.
Another photo opportunity.
Now we will have Miss Kay Edmonds. Is she there?
The best.
Again, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to Power 106 FM's live coverage of the
Now I
Elaine
want
Bryan
to tell you something about Miss Kay.
Inspirational Luncheon.
Miss Kay works for Morehouse School of
Awards
Medicine, but I have known her for about 15 years.
Atlanta, Georgia.
And I have noticed her selfless ways helping everyone who she comes across. You know, I have a friend, Dr. Pottinger, we both worked at Chambly together for many years. And Kay is always giving us ideas. Do you want to come to a church to volunteer? Do you want to do, no, she gets us working, don't get me wrong, we are part of the work team with her. But she's always willing to go the extra mile. My father passed away recently, and I had 2 days to plan his memorial because I had limited time off from DeKalb County. And so I wanted to take 2 days to plan it. And Kay did my program in 1 hour. Gregory and I wrote it out, and Kay did all of that. And you know, when you lose a parent, it's really a rough time. And I just want to thank all of you who really made a difference when my dad passed away recently, and also Gregory's mom passed away in July. And the love and support that we got was overwhelming, and I just want to thank you. So on behalf of the Elaine Bryan Foundation, we present this to Kay. Could the foundation members come up here, please, if you can?
Elaine Bryan honoring members of the organization and those who support the efforts of the Elaine Bryan Foundation. She invites them to take up their position on the lectern, on the platform I should say, which is just behind the lectern. She's about to make presentations. So
I wanted to give Kay one of the Grace gift basket. Grace is one of our sponsors, and thank her for all that she has done in the community. Thank you. You take better pictures later. Thank you. Miss Rushin. Miss Rushin is the first principal I had when I moved from Chicago. I went to Northwestern University, and Chicago was a little less challenging than Georgia. In the school system, it's hard here. And so when I met Miss Rushin and she made everything bearable for me, it meant so much. And you know, since we are a mentorship program, our mission is mentoring and helping people, I wanted to tell Miss Rushin thanks today, and she had no idea. We kept it a secret from her, so she didn't know. So we want to thank her for all her hard work, helping so much of us. We were born in other countries, we come to this country, we work hard, we are committed. We really appreciate when you say thanks to us and make it easy and soften the blow for us in change of big culture. So we want to thank you and thank all the Americans for making our dream come true in the States. Thank you. Okay, so everybody has gotten gifts, everybody? Oh, that's great. Okay. Well, please rise, everybody, and give them a big round of applause. And is Reverend Dr. here? Reverend Dr. Osborne, is she here? Okay, could you come close to the stage, because after we recognize Paula Kerr-Jarrett, we will grace and people are ready to eat, so we are going to, so what we are going to do is have Miss Paula Kerr-Jarrett come to the stage and give us a quick greeting. I met Miss Paula Kerr-Jarrett in Jamaica. I actually went to school with her sister-in-law, and I admire her hard work and leadership traits. She's going to say a 2-minute greeting for us, and then we'll eat, and she can come back a little later, because we want to respect all the speakers who have to catch flights, including the congressman, and you know, he's really busy, and everybody else in here is valuable, and we want to respect everyone. As soon as we get the meal, we'll resume the program, so you're going to be listening to the program while you're eating. Sorry for that, but we got to move fast. Thank you, Miss Paula Kerr-Jarrett. I appreciate you coming.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to be very, very brief. I was told to speak on mentorship and my experience with mentorship and education, but I really understand the time, and not only that, but you know, I just want to use I'm going to try to stretch to 3, if that's okay, minutes that have been given to me, because I can't stay, unfortunately, late on after lunch. I have a flight to catch as well. But I just want to say that, you know, I was asked to come by Elaine to bring inspiration, but in fact, I have come and actually received a lot more than I even could imagine. I am filled with admiration, humility, and promise about what can happen when one person like Elaine Bryan and her husband Greg choose not to give up and be determined to make a difference in so many people's lives. And I tell you that not enough can be said. Elaine, I had no idea. She'd been asking me to come to speak at her event for years, but I don't come to Atlanta often, and it never worked out. But I have learned so much today that I can now give to others, and I'm sure that every one of you here has. And you know, wrote something to say today, and after hearing Captain Barrington, I changed everything up completely. Because every lesson that he had, if you give me a brief 3 minutes, I'm just going to run through, because it is so important to emphasize what he said. I don't have to say anything on mentorship, because he said it and you saw it in action. But I just want to quickly say a few points. Number one, Einstein said, you only fail when you stop trying. You are a living example of that. I've not heard of you. I didn't know who you are until I came here. And I'm so excited to know that you too, like us, are Jamaican. And, no offense to anyone here who's not. We're just sorry for you. I'm so proud of my country. Number two, mentoring is generational. We all lead by example. When you start a tradition of mentoring, it keeps going. You are mentored, you mentor. So it's generational, it's a tradition that we must lay the foundation for, especially in Jamaica. We need you, every one of you here. Number three, Churchill said, we give a life, we make a living by what we get, but a life by what we give. You guys are living examples of that. Number four, everyone can be a mentor, even a pilot. You don't have to be a teacher, in other words. You don't have to be an educator. Number five, and this one is speaks a lot to me. You never know when you will be a mentor. You are being watched. That captain that walked out of the car that day, that fateful day, he didn't know that he would end up mentoring you. So we have to be careful about what we do every single day of the week. We have to be led, we have to lead by example, because somebody's watching us and somebody is following us, and they're going to do what we do, whether it's positive or negative. Number six, to be mentored, you have to have humility, willingness to learn, and also the courage to ask. Again, Captain Barrington, example, when the pilot spoke to him and said to him, "What do you want to do this?" He had the courage to think it through and asking the right questions that were relevant to him at that time. So critical. Number seven, young people, you are the disruptors of this time. That's a good thing. Never pull back from being different. It's so important to be different in this world today, because we need to shake things up. Number eight, the older ones of us in this room, we need to facilitate and collaborate with the youth. They are not just the future, but they're going to create the future. So we need to do everything in our power, like Elaine is doing, to facilitate them and Greg. And number nine, finally, and this is just a quick word to the diaspora. I didn't know who I was coming to speak to today, and I really thought it was going to be mostly American-based people. And so when I got here, I was so refreshed and encouraged, because I can identify with everybody in this room. And I just want to encourage everybody who's from Jamaica. You have a role to play in our future. Many of us could be living anywhere else. You know, I could be born anywhere else in the world, so could you. But for some reason, the Lord chose us to be born in the nation of Jamaica. We have a responsibility. I'll never forget when my young daughter, she's now 18, she came home and she was about 8, and she said to me, "Mommy, I'm so glad I'm not born in China." So I thought, my God, what are they teaching her at school? That just sounds not right. I said, "Well, what do you mean by that?" She said, "Well, if I was born in China, I would be one of 3 billion. But I'm born in Jamaica, I'm one of less than 3 million. I'm special." And I want to just quickly finish by a quote that came to me as everyone was talking today. Isaiah 43 verse 6, where the Lord says, and I'm just going to quickly read it, it's not long. It says, I will say to the north, give them up, and to the south, do not hold them back. Bring my sons from afar and my daughters from the end of the earth. Now, when I was in Jamaica about 10 years ago, and I was really despairing about the country, because everybody I knew was leaving. Again, there was another exodus. And I remember the Lord took me to that scripture. He said, "Don't worry, they're going to come back." And so we're going to build our country, and I want to know that that verse goes on to say, "My purposes will stand." And I believe everybody here, young, old, indifferent, committed to some cause and some person's lives, God's purpose will stand in yours and what you choose to do. So make it be something valuable. Make it be something that counts for the future generations. Thank you very much. It was indeed an honor.
Kerr-Jarrett. Jamaican philanthropist, using just about 5 minutes approximately to say so much to the gathering attending this Elaine Bryan Foundation
Thank you so much, Mother, for those
Inspirational Luncheon and Awards at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead here in Atlanta, Georgia. So we're going to take a break here on Power 106 FM and come back with more live coverage of this Inspirational Luncheon and Awards organized by the Elaine Bryan Foundation. Let's clear our backlog of commercials now and come back with much more in a moment.
I'm going to ask Reverend Dr. Maxine Osborne Foster to please guide us.
19 minutes past 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Kingston, Jamaica, which means it's 2:19 p.m. here in Atlanta,
Amen.
Georgia.
Praise God. I know you thought you were going to miss out on church today, right? Praise God. Today as we enjoy this inspirational luncheon, and I've been inspired so far, I don't know about you. We want to take the time out to invite the presence of God who has already been here, because I've prayed before, so I know He is here. And as we reflect on the people, the places, the things that inspire us, we think on creativity, we think about innovation, inventiveness, we think about originality, we think about artistry, insight, finesse, flair, all the things that inspires us and all the things we have inherited from our master inspirator, who is our creator. Let us just bow our heads as we look to the Lord. God of all creation, we come before you today to give you honor and praise. You are worthy of praise. We give you respect and acknowledge you as our creator and provider. It is you who are omnipresent. You are everywhere, Lord. It is you who are omnipotent. You have all power. It is you who are omniscient. You know everything. You are the source of all that is good, and you are the source of all our blessings. So, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, for all of your spectacular creations. We thank you for the joy of special times with friends and family. We thank you for the promise of tomorrow, and we acknowledge that you will always be by our side. For your word promised that you will never leave us, nor will you forsake us. We thank you for the Elaine Bryan Foundation and the opportunities that it provides to our children. We thank you for the abundance of inspirations that you have given us. Help these young minds to think on the things that are true, the things that are honest, the things that are just, the things that are pure, the things that are lovely, the things that are of a good report. Your word said, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, let us continue to think on these things. So, our Father, we ask that you help us to be true to who you have created us to be, and that you continue to inspire us to make our lives and our world a better place. And now, Father, we ask that you bless this meal we are about to partake of, that it might nourish our bodies, satisfy our palates, and strengthen us with your goodness. We thank you, Lord, for your love, for your grace, for your mercy. In Jesus' name, amen.
Georgia, grace has been said, and grace having been said means it is time for brunch, pretty much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Foster. So with the head tables, I forgot to mention, we have two buffet lines, so just kind of imagine a line going on the middle and, go accordingly. Okay, so we ask that the two head tables, please join the buffet lines. Thank you.
Is headed by Dr. Bryan. She has extended thanks to some key individuals, institutions, and organizations that have played their part in the success of the organization of the foundation. Among them, Hartsfield Jackson Atlanta Airport, Microsoft, Jamaica National Bank, Delta Airlines, Couples Sushi, Golden Crust, Westside Gastroenterology, Jamaica Tourist Board, Breezes Resort and Spa Bahamas, Anwan Regenerative Center, Global Education Consultants Group, Grace Kennedy, and Power 106 FM, plus the Ritz-Carlton Hotel here in Buckhead. The program is quite complete with messages. Message, of course, from Dr. Elaine Bryan, who chairs the Elaine Bryan Foundation. The Governor of the State of Georgia, Nathan Dean, has also congratulated the Elaine Bryan Foundation. So too, the Mayor of the City of Atlanta, Cassim Reed, no stranger to Jamaica. Her Excellency Audrey B. Marks, Ambassador of Jamaica to the United States of America and Permanent Representative of Jamaica to the Organization of American States. She's here. There are features on the keynote speakers, an extensive feature on Lowell F. Hawthorne, President and Chief Executive Officer of Golden Crust Caribbean Bakery and Grill, America's largest Caribbean franchise chain, son of Jamaican soil, of course. And you heard earlier on from Captain Barrington Irving, who has traveled to about 50 countries, conducted a number of programs of empowerment and mentorship for young people, and he continues to, he was quick to point out on several of the photos that he had lined up on the slide for that presentation. He was quick to point out the presence of the Jamaican flag on each of those occasions. So he's very, very proud of his Jamaican heritage, and he wastes no time to share that pride with the rest of the world. So he is featured in the publication. At some point we look forward to speaking with him. He, along with the other patrons, are on the buffet line at the moment, making sure that they are able to refresh themselves, and that's exactly what's happening right now. So a little later on we'll speak with Barrington Irving, but he has conducted more than 30 STEM listeners, and speaks of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. But those of you who have ever listened to us would know that we always like to say that without the arts, STEM has no steam. Without the arts, STEM has no steam. But anyway, Barrington Irving has conducted more than 30 STEM expeditions, successfully challenged middle school students to build a car faster than a Ferrari 430. Can you believe that? He has also challenged high schoolers to build a plane. He flew on its test flight in 2007, as we've been telling you in part of the build-up to this afternoon's event. In 2007, Captain Barrington Irving set 2 world records at age 23 as the youngest person and first black pilot to fly solo around the world. He has a passion to explore, inspire, and educate others, and you heard his presentation earlier on. So we look forward to getting in a word with him. Paula Kerr-Jarrett, well, you heard her presentation just before lunch. She's a director of the Barnett Group of Companies. She has studied at the University of London in the United Kingdom. She qualified for the bar at the Norman Manley Law School
at the University of the West Indies. She's a director of the Branson Center for Entrepreneurship Board. She's also a humanitarian for the We Care for Cornwall Regional, which is a non-profit group assisting the Cornwall Regional Hospital with funding. She's the ambassador for the Western Campus of the University of the West Indies, and she wears many other hats. So that's Paula Kerr-Jarrett, who you heard a little earlier on speaking. The Elaine Bryan Foundation board members are also featured. So Dr. Elaine Bryan herself, her husband Gregory Bryan is vice chair, Dr. Keisha Edwards-Tassie is secretary, Dr. Carl Grant treasurer, Dr. Delia Pottinger a board member, Bernadine Lane is also a board member, and we can tell you as well that Power 106 FM is also featured in this publication, and we continue to spread the word far and wide of Power 106 FM's coverage across the diaspora, which is very well documented. Also in the publication, the special awardees. We'll perhaps tell you more about those a little later on, but you would have heard the names being called as the presentations were being made. For now though, let's take another break here on Power 106 FM and come back with much more live from the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards 2017 at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
1:30.
Hi.
Need an affordable, hassle-free loan? Then look no further.
Thank you.
Visit the Manchester Cooperative Credit Union to access the secure 24 loan.
All right, well,
with
here's
rates
the
as
thing.
low as
Everything
9.95%
that
and
is
processing
going on is
completed
live
within
on
24
Facebook.
hours. Borrowing
So
has
if you
never
go to
been
my
easier.
Facebook page,
Come
at the
in
end of
to
the
any of our
program,
branches
everything
in
would
Mandeville or
have already
Christiana
been
or
uploaded.
call 962
So you just type in, let me give you my card. You just
Manchester
type in my
Cooperative
name,
Credit Union, where service exceeds expectation.
and you'll be able to watch. You'll be able to watch everything.
Yeah.
And also, there's a Power 106 FM app.
Are you
which
on the
can
go
download
in the
for free
USA?
if you wish,
Want
on
to
any of
listen
your
to Power
smart
106
devices,
FM Jamaica?
and you'll
Call
be able to
605-477-5045.
to
That's
today's
605-477-5045. And it's free to call.
no problem.
You have unlimited minutes. So tune in to Power 106 FM Jamaica anytime from anywhere in the USA. Listen 24/7. Call 605-477-5045.
Yes, and then, yeah. No man,
This broadcast of Power 106 FM from the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, Buckland, Atlanta, Georgia, is brought to you by Elaine Bryan Realty, Elaine Bryan Foundation, Power 106 FM, and Music 99 FM.
Well, you know how it is. I have so many of those that
From a location near you, here's today's Power Personality.
Stay where you are. Thank you so much for rejoining us here at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead in Atlanta, Georgia, as we continue our coverage of the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards. And I have a very special lady with me right now. I just laid hands on her. Gonna ask her, for the benefit of you, our viewers on Facebook Live, and our listeners all over the world, to introduce herself and to you listening and watching right now, and to say a few words on the work of the Elaine Bryan Foundation.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dervan. It's so good to see you again.
Yes.
This is our second week in a row meeting up with each other. I am Nicole Hoyen-Birch. I am an attorney here in Atlanta and the founder and executive director for the Jamaican American Athletic Development, working on our first project called the Touchdown Project, bringing American sports, particularly American football, to schools in Jamaica in partnership with the government of Jamaica. This is my third year at the Elaine Bryan Foundation Luncheon, and it is always inspiring. What Elaine is doing, I absolutely commend and support. As she said before, the young people are our future, and unless we we invest in them, our future looks very dim. So I salute and I commend Elaine, Bryan, and her team for all the work that they're doing and the partnership with the Microsoft Foundation. So, Dervan, so good to be here, and good to see you here officially for the first time. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Before you go, just tell our listeners and our viewers at home and abroad how they can follow the work that you're doing, especially introducing American football to Jamaica.
Absolutely. We look forward to your support. To learn more, visit thetouchdownproject.com. It's a long name, but it's easy to remember. It's www.thetouchdownproject.com. We look forward to your support as we bring American sports, American football to Jamaica. The premise is this. We're extremely talented. We saw, Dervan and I, the pen relays last weekend. Always inspiring, as Dr. Kerr-Jarrett said, we're so fortunate to be Jamaicans. We have supreme talent. The reality is that the opportunities available to us are limited compared to the talent pool that we have. So we certainly want to create a marriage between opportunities in America, which are abundant in sports, especially American football, baseball and basketball, which are programs that we have planned. But the reality is that if we were to learn other sporting disciplines and introduce our kids to them, that we would create more opportunities for them to obtain scholarships, to get an education in America and better their lives. So that is the focus of our organization, is really to bring opportunities to Jamaican kids through American sports. And we feel like we can dominate it. We believe that we are talented enough that anything we touch,
right?
we can jaminate it, absolutely. If we can do it in bobsled and we have no ice in Jamaica, certainly we can dominate on the football field, on the basketball court, and on the baseball diamond. So thank you guys so much. Look forward to your support. Nicole Hoyen-Birch. Visit thetouchdownproject.com for more information. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Nicole. All the best. So there you have it. Another of the specially invited guests here at this Elaine Bryan Foundation. As you heard, she's doing her 3rd year at this event, and it's going well so far. I'll give you perhaps a shot of the line so you can see what's happening. Yeah, people are waiting in line, including Dr. Glenn Laman. Can you see him? Casey Oldboy over there, and author of that book on entrepreneurship. Let's have a word. Thanks. Good. No problem. Sure. All right. So, Dr. Laman, how are you, sir?
Oh, fine, thank you, Mark.
Good to see you. Good to see you. So, tell me, you keep on top of things here in Atlanta. Generally, you send out these notices from time to time, and tell us the significance of this particular event, because this is not the first year of the event, is it?
No, this is the 3rd year, so and it's going strong. So we're very happy to see the turnout, and food looks good. I can't wait to get my turn at it. But yes.
It speaks to another aspect of what it takes to be Jamaican, or what it is to be Jamaican. I like to say, and maybe I'm being biased here, that there's a natural tendency. In fact, Jamaica, I'm trying to remember the number, we're like in the teens, like number 15 or so on the giving index globally, according to the Economist Pocket World in figures. And it says a lot about us in terms of our generosity of spirit and also resources. This is another example, isn't it?
Right. So, yeah, we believe in giving back. I think that's part of our culture. Everybody has some relative who needs a little help from time to time. So I think that's part of who we are, and it's a very good thing. So, and this has so far been a very inspiring program. I think what it shows what can be accomplished once you set your mind to it, and I think that's a very important thing. And as you know, Jamaicans are very entrepreneurial. We like to try a thing.
You wrote the book on that, right?
Exactly. So this all works together, and I think we would like to see the young people think along those lines as well. I think that could be a game changer for the nation.
And I like what I've been seeing and hearing too in terms of collaboration between Jamaican entities and entities here in Atlanta. So, for example, I believe the twinning of the Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport and Norman Manley International Airport, that was maybe about a month or more ago.
Right, so that's another good sign of collaboration and things to come.
We've always had the twinning of Atlanta and Montego Bay.
Right, exactly. In fact, they're having a golf tournament coming up, I think, later this month to raise money for their annual medical mission to Montego Bay. So stay tuned for that.
Thanks, Dr. Laman. In the meantime, remind us how we can get a copy of your book. Give us the title and where our listeners can get a copy.
Jamaican Entrepreneurship. It's available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. It's also available at Sangster's Bookstore, UWI Bookstore, Bookophilia, and a few others.
Thanks. All the best.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Take care, Dr. Glenn Laman. And speaking of Laman, here's the man. Of course, this gentleman, Derek Scott, always dapperly attired, is a key man in Washington, but he gets around. Last week he was at the Penn Relays and having a ball there. You know, when I grow up, I want to be like him. How are you, Mr. Scott?
Why, thank you, Dervan.
Good to see you. Good to talk to you. I'm always curious to find out how you are able to, you and the other members of the team in Washington, to fulfill the numerous obligations you're asked, you're invited to fulfill as Jamaicans across the diaspora, especially here in the United States, play their part, to paraphrase the national pledge, in advancing the welfare of the whole human race.
Well, just like how you are getting so many requests to come to the diaspora, we do get that in Washington. But I think one of the things is that you look at them and you sort of we're the ones that because everybody wants the ambassador to come to their event. And if the ambassador decides to go to everyone, then might be she will not be in Washington. But today is an important event, and so Her Excellency will be delivering the keynote address a little later. And so we are here to support a Jamaican who is supporting not only Jamaicans alone, but students of Jamaican parents and Americans here in Atlanta to advance in education. So which we think is a great event today. And we should laud Mr. and Mrs. Bryan, Dr. and Mr. Bryan for this. And the Jamaicans in the diaspora continue to make their mark.
This is it. And I would love, I don't know if the research has been done or is being done, to put some numbers, some figures to the contributions of Jamaicans in the diaspora to development back home. When we speak of healthcare, when we speak of education, when we speak of national security, there are so many ways in which, and well, the remittances go, well, that goes without saying.
I guess in July when we come to the diaspora conference, I guess either from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs or some ministry, I think that will be coming forward. But as you say, health and education are two. I mean, just this weekend alone, there are so many events that are taking place all across, and it is to give back and to make that contribution to education.
You continue to make your contribution as a public servant of Jamaica, land we love. We salute you, congratulate you, and all the very best.
Thank you very much. I'm humbled, but we're going to bring you up instead of you going back and forth now.
Well, let's see how that goes.
I've always said it when I have the mic. Let me congratulate Power 106 and congratulate you for the role you are playing in coming to the diaspora and to transmitting to Jamaicans and all over what the diaspora is being done. I think you're truly one of those journalists that I don't think you sleep. But thank you.
Thank you very much. That's very kind of you, Derek Scott of the Jamaican Embassy in Washington, one of the attendees at this Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards, as we see the patrons lining up and moving towards the buffet line, and there are others who have managed to get their meals already, and they're back at their tables and enjoying the fair. I haven't seen a menu to be able to tell you what they're having here, listeners. I'm just going through, but it's very Jamaican. I see chicken, must be jerk chicken, and rolls, yes, and vegetables, and what else is there? Okay, all right, good, all right. So it's lunchtime here, or brunch time, we should say. Let's remind you. Oh, here's the menu, listeners. I do have a menu. So it's assorted rolls and a cheddar chive biscuits. And for salads, tomato and beet salad with pickled egg, sherry bacon vinaigrette, black-eyed pea and corn salad with cilantro and cilantro lime vinaigrette, southern fried chicken salad with butterhead lettuce, cherry tomatoes, mushrooms. Are we making you hungry yet? Have you had your Sunday dinner yet? Tarragon honey mustard vinaigrette, Ashland farm greens with ranch and balsamic dressing. So that's for salads. In terms of entrees, lemon thyme roasted chicken with cheddar and mascarpone grits, fresh chives, blackened Georgia trout with crispy Brussels sprouts and lemon butter, spice rubbed pork loin with roasted butternut squash and apple cider sauce, southern vegetable medley of roasted cauliflower, green beans, Swiss chard and rainbow carrots. As far as dessert goes, peach passion fruit compote, lime parfait, pecan crisp, lemon meringue, some people say meringue, pecan tart with peanut butter mousse, red velvet with cream cheese icing. That's the menu. So we do have the menu. Let's tell you what's on the menu for the rest of this afternoon. Well, we'll tell you after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
1:45.
Today's Hydro Feeds, the farmer's first choice.
For generations, deep in valleys.
Safika, you're still there? Can you give me a call? I don't know if you've been messaging me, but my phone has been charging, deliberately so. So, yeah, if you could give me a call. So I want to take a music break.
Strong, sturdy hands have raised flocks, families, and faith. Yet they keep pressing on. Because for them, growth is a passion.
Are you there? Hello? Oh, maybe not Safika. Somebody else, because 2 o'clock is gone. Or is it? No? What time is it? Let's do Safika.
Now for today's weather break.
Waiting your call.
There's a trough western Canada this afternoon for scattered showers and thunderstorms over sections of most parishes. Tonight expect lingering showers with possible thunderstorms. For the next 3 days, look for cloudy conditions with periods of showers and thunderstorms.
Hold on.
The information for today's weather brief was supplied by the Meteorological
All right.
Service of
So play your best music.
Today's weather brief was brought to you by Hydro Feeds.
Hydro Feeds, the farmer's first choice. The experts say that radio is the most effective medium for converting product awareness into sales. Advertising creates awareness. Power 106 FM is your powerful business talk radio. To advertise with us, call us now. 968-488.
I tell you what, come back to me after this break so I can tell the listeners what we're going to do.
And we'll
help you create
awareness about your product and your brand.
To go back again.
It's here, it's there, it's everywhere. It's OneSpotMedia.com. Watch your favorite local program or listen to your favorite radio station from anywhere in the world on your tablet, smartphone, or personal computer. Download the app now and keep up to date with your favorite local programs on TVJ. Check us out at OneSpotMedia.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook.com/OneSpotMedia, and subscribe now. OneSpotMedia.com.
Power 106 is taking it to the streets.
This broadcast of Power 106 FM from the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel, Buckland, Atlanta, Georgia, is brought to you by Elaine Bryan Realty, Elaine Bryan Foundation, Power 106 FM, and Music 99 FM.
Power 106 is taking it to the streets live from a location near you. Here's today's Power Personality.
Thank you so much for rejoining us here at the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead in Atlanta, Georgia. It's brunch time right now, and so the patrons are enjoying the fare of food on offer here. And we're going to take a bit of a music break because we want you to be able to come back afterwards and listen to the remaining presentations. And the key one being, we first of all have to hear from Lowell Hawthorne, the CEO of Golden Crust. And then the next big program is the next big presentation is that to be made by Ambassador Audrey Marks, Jamaica's ambassador to Washington and permanent representative to the OAS. So those two key presentations will carry for you a little later on, but for the time being, we're going to send you back to the studios of Power 106 FM as you enjoy the musical offerings, and then we come back with much more live from the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia, for this Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards.
Some stations lead, others follow, except no imitations. This is Power 106.
Since there's no other music being played now, I guess you can flaunt it a little.
You gotta do, baby, babe. This is for my baby, babe. Yeah. Now listen now. We have so many things in common. Yet we are two different people. We just love being around each other. Yet we give each other is there when we are together. The air is so charged and everything seems so fine. Wherever this leads, I'm willing to follow. This leads me gently by my hand. Step by step we are getting stronger. Breath by breath we are learning about each other. One more time, I don't know where this is going, but I'm so glad we are taking it slow. Baby face, you got a cute baby face. Baby face, we're getting stronger and stronger every day. I'm so blessed that you are in my life, my baby, my sweet baby. People may have things to say about us. You make me so happy, and I know I do the same for you. We will ignore all the rumors and backbiting.
When you ride there on petrol, so you don't cramp my style. Will you can give me a smile? 'Cause after all, I'm one of your fans, yeah. What can you do to stop a man from trying? I said I won't to stop a man from trying. I wanna know now. To stop a man from trying. Said I wanna know how to stop a man from trying. Not with that big broad smile and your sexy dress you wear. It's totally impossible for a man with eyes not to stare. There is no reason to be so uptight. Now you got everything alright. You should know by now you're every man's fantasy. Yeah. From trying. Yes, I won't know how to stop a man from trying. Absolutely nothing at all now. Stop a man from trying. Yes, I don't know how to stop a man from trying.
I sent you a message to say that the number I have for
yes, I don't
This is Dervan. How are you? I'm fine, thanks. No, I think I tried reaching you earlier this year.
Yeah, you know,
I was here.
actually,
I don't remember.
Universal Sign of Love.
Because I did see your message some time ago, but you responded. For some strange reason, I had the wrong number for you, so I've been calling you, harassing a lady. So how you doing? You still with CNN? Yeah, so I'm here until tomorrow. I'm staying with my in-laws in Fairburn. Fayetteville, sorry, Fayetteville. Yeah. And I leave, I think my flight is at 3 something tomorrow afternoon. Yeah. And I'm at the Ritz now. I'm at the Ritz in Buckhead, covering the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon. That's a good question. That's a good question. It depends on who's asking, you know, what is happening, and whether arrangements are made for me to. Yeah, I'd love to get a real tour of CNN. I mean, I've been there before, but you know, the usual general tour that everybody gets. Yeah. sounds like. When do you normally work? What's your shift normally like? Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. What didn't help was that the Delta flight had a mechanical problem. What do you call it? The cargo smoke detection system. And so the flight was initially delayed and then cancelled and rescheduled. So I actually got in on yesterday morning. I got it. Yeah. Yeah, but I'm happy that I have the correct number now, so at least I can give you a heads up. I don't know where I got that from. Okay. Yeah, man. So I have to make sure that the next time I'm here or I'm coming, I give you adequate notice, so we can, I don't know, so I can drop by or maybe have some lunch or I don't know, whatever. Yeah, because obviously this is short notice for you. I mean, you can. Where are you? You're somewhere in. You're closer to the city. No, that's fine. Because I quite understand. It's not a problem. I'm just happy that I have the correct number now, so that's fine for me. Just getting the correct number now is fine. Very short. Very short. Same here. Same here. So I'll definitely keep you posted long in advance for the other trips that I'm sure will come. Exactly, I definitely do that. I think so, yes. It was, yeah, Grace Jamaican Jerk Festival, yes. Or one of those, yeah. Yeah, man, but it's nice. It's good to talk to you. It's good to have the correct number. And rest assured, I'll be giving you more than enough notice the next time. So prepare yourself. Yeah, man. So it's, so we'll talk. I'm gonna keep in touch. All right. Yeah, man, I will. Thanks. All right. So take care. Okay. It's always bad for performers, Very bad.
Never truly hear the music.
Safika, we're ready to go again.
Before I introduce Mr. Noel Horton, on the cover bus celebrity and Golden Cross CEO, I want to remind the audience that
This broadcast of
if
Power
you want,
106
who wants to go to Jamaica?
Foundation Ritz-Carlton Hotel, Buckland, Atlanta, Georgia, is brought to you by Elaine Bryan Realty, Elaine Bryan Foundation, Power 106 FM, and Music 99 FM.
Straight to Jamaica to stay at Salt Sushi. All you can eat, drink,
As you rejoin us here at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia, for the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards. Dr. Bryan is back at the lectern promoting one of the, well, a couple of very, very attractive prizes for those who would have entered the raffle. So there's a raffle that is on, a $20 raffle, and that's what's happening now. But first, I think she's now going to officially introduce Lowell Hawthorne in just a moment, and so we will bring that presentation for you, and then a little later on, we're going to have the presentation by Jamaica's ambassador to Washington, Audrey Marks. So here we go.
May I have their attention, please? This is an important part. May I have their attention? One of our keynote speakers today is Mr. Lowell Hawthorne. He is the CEO of Golden Cross, and he's also a celebrity on the show, Undercover Boss. I want to welcome his family here. I got to meet his sister Jackie Robinson, who runs the Golden Cross in Stonecrest Mall. Some of you went there last night, but I was at the airport to pick up the ambassador when you were at the Golden Cross. I want you guys to support the business, the Golden Cross franchise, because we're all helping each other, and it takes a village to run this youth empowerment mission. So I don't want you to forget to go and buy his patties. I like the patties, I like all the food there, and I like the flakiness of the patties. So I just want you all to know you're missing out on some good food. So could you please come to the podium now, Mr. Hawthorne, and will the audience please rise? I know you've been eating, so you need a little exercise. So could you please rise and give him a warm
commercial, can you imagine? Thank you so much, Dr. Bryan. You may be seated. To our illustrious master of ceremonies, chairperson, Dr. Elaine Bryan, members of the board of directors, Her Excellency, Ambassador Audrey Marks, Captain Barrington, proud everyone. Elected officials and dignitaries, the students, of course, the Golden Cross fans, our franchisees in the house, Claritas and Tash, of course, one of the founding members of the Golden Cross organization, and my sister Jackie, the one that is responsible for the Atlanta location here, and of course, I would say her daughter. She stepped up, and Anne-Marie Grant, the executive director of the American Foundation, University of the West Indies, and ladies and gentlemen, oh, my brother, Raymond, I can't forget it. A golden good afternoon to you all. I have been called many names. The Patty King, Mr. Crust. And most recently, as Elaine has articulated, the undercover boss. But let me say, of all the names that have been called, there is none that humbles me than being called God's ambassador. I want to thank you, Dr. Bryan, for having chosen the Patty King to speak today. So therefore, I'm going to keep my address short and spicy, and have you longing for more like a golden crust patty. I deem it an exceptional privilege to be given the opportunity to address the foundation this afternoon. I want to thank you all for coming from far and near to be a part of this august body. I want to salute Dr. Elaine Bryan and her team for gathering together organization leaders, educators, community leaders, friends, and well-wishers to be a part of this phenomenal recognition and awards ceremony. When I received the invitation from Dr. Bryan to be the keynote speaker, I readily said yes. I have had the wonderful opportunity to travel this great country, to speak to the young and the old, the brave and the bold, about fueling the entrepreneurial spirits of our brothers and sisters. Oftentimes, the subject is about hard work, family, and using your God-given ability to be all that you can be. This afternoon, I want to make it clear that of all the experiences that I have had, there is nothing more gratifying than being given the forum or the opportunity to speak with fellow business leaders and aspiring young leaders. So I want to salute this foundation and their mission to improve achievement of students by providing education, empowerment, mentorship services while inspiring them to dream big and connecting them to opportunity. This is a mission that I wholeheartedly stand by and is very similar to that of my parents' foundation, the Mavis and Ephraim Alphon Foundation. Your theme, financial freedom through STEAM, resonates so much with my journey. Your goal to create science, technology, engineering, and mathematics programs will ensure that the next generation is empowered to make significant change in their community. I'll always say, if you fail to educate our people, you run the risk of depriving our community of social, political, and economic empowerment. This foundation is making sure that this does not happen. This foundation recognizes the transforming power of education and the achievements through adversity. To pave the way for success, one has to discuss the art of learning something new every day. Education is a force that literally changes lives. It propels humans to dream bigger dreams. It levels the playing fields and cuts through the race of barriers and cultures and emancipates every mind to discover its true potential. To all awardees and students, think about the rich possibility awaiting you, the opportunity to make an impact as change agent. You can shape the world by unlocking your creativity, your ideology into practice by moving from being consumers to creators, by engaging in community and nation building, by positioning yourself in the forefront of this global economy. I want to encourage you to be inspired by your own story and stories by so many others like you. What will your story be? You are still writing it. What will those chapters say in days, weeks, years from now? Only you have an answer. You are the author of your own story. You are in charge of your own destiny. We cannot be transformative and transformational unless we have faith, vision, and take calculated risk. We need innovation and creativity in order to mobilize our youth to create the kind of sustainable opportunity for young students. We have to stand as a cohesive body with clear fixation and the task we have in this world. Together, we can be impactful. Together, we can be transformational. Together, we can fulfill the dreams and aspirations of this generation. Together, we can amplify the dreams of those without hope. President Barack Obama once said, change is brought about when ordinary people do extraordinary things. It did not say Bill Gates. It didn't say Warren Buffett. Ordinary people like Dr. Elaine, Bryan. Ordinary citizens like my parents. Ordinary citizens like you. Ordinary citizens like me, who have risen from poverty to be operating one of the largest Caribbean franchises in the entire world. That is the dream. Let me say that I am who I am today, not because of my business skills, not because I live in one of the greatest countries in the world, not because it is a natural instinct that transitioned one from boyhood to manhood. I became the person that I am because of my mother and father. They have instilled in us integrity, character, hard work, and putting people before profit. They have given me hope and mentorship when I needed it most. Let me remind all of you here today that real life does not consist of what we acquire, but how we use our blessings to lift up our fallen brothers and sisters. My friend, you and I owe it to this generation. We have an inherent obligation to do so whether we believe it or not. I call upon everyone in this gallery to make an imprint in this world. Let's live so as to leave a lasting legacy that lifts people and enlightens the world. Let us leave a legacy of life, a legacy of love, laughter, and hope. Let's leave a legacy of vision that empowers people to strive for their God-given ability and achieve their dreams. Your theme, financial freedom, really resonates with me. It is because of entrepreneurship where I have found financial liberty. My journey to the United States has been quite challenging to say the least. Many of you have read The Baker's Son that speaks and chronicles my journey from border, Lawrence Tavern, St. Andrew to the United States. In my short life, I have been a farmer. I've been a minibus operator, operating bus from Kingston to UWI campuses. I've also been a DJ. The name of my system was, my son said, was Sir Was International. Then I got the opportunity to come to this great country in search of the American dream. When I came here, I'm always in quest for the next dollar to make a deal or a living. My first job was with New York City Police Department. There I spent 10 years as a stock handler. Then one day I had this great vision, and I shared it with my wife, my siblings, my sister Jackie, and they all bought into the concept. We all pooled our resources together in the tune of $100,000 to open the first Golden Crust restaurant. My book speaks about the challenges that we've had. It talks about my life in the projects in New York City, shared with my sister Jacqueline Robinson. It talks about my days on public assistance, when my wife and I had to travel back and forth to Brooklyn to secure those WIC checks. It talks about the early days in the Golden Cross organization, when we encountered extortionists, the mafia, when we had to pay thousands of dollars weekly to stay in business. It talks about the fact that we encountered racism at my home in Westchester County. One day, I got up and was written on my house, "Die, nigger, die." I did not know the impact it had on my family and my children, particularly my youngest son, until he decided to go to law school and he used that experience in his personal statement to talk about what he encountered. The book speaks about navigating through the virtual cobwebs of doing business in New York City. But of all the crises that we have faced as an organization, the one that humbles me most and most challenging what I consider to be the paddy crisis. Many of you must be wondering, how could a paddy man have a paddy crisis? Yes, I did. My dad did not teach us how to make paddies. So Jackie, myself, and the entire family, we were buying paddies from one of the largest suppliers of Jamaican paddies for 3 years. Business was at a point where we were doing extremely well. We traveled off to Jamaica, having a great time in Negro and White Sand Beach. We had opened 7 stores at the time. The competitor thought I must have been growing too fast. But I remember getting a phone call from Jackie that our paddy supply had been discontinued. Can you imagine 7 stores and no more patties? Trepidation, fear, agony, a sense of defeat. But I had a great father. I ran to my father and called him and said, "Pops, you would not believe it. My paddy supplies have been discontinued." My dad looked at me and said, "Son, don't run back to the United States." He said, "All things work together to good for them that love the Lord." I wonder what Pops was saying. If he knew what he was even saying. I had no paddies. And he said, all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. I came back to the United States and I saw my sister Jackie and my brothers, everybody making paddies. I wasn't happy with the quality, so I went on a mission. A mission that took me to London, where they make good kidney pies. A mission that took me to Chicago, back to Jamaica, in quest of that recipe, in quest of that formulation to make a good paddy. After 9 months of trial and errors, we finally became the owner of our own recipe. Unfortunately, through challenges, had he not stopped us, I would not have been a franchisor. Had he not stopped us, we would not be able to give the kind of scholarship that we're giving today. Had he not stopped us, we would have been dependent rather than independent. And all things work together for good to them that love the Lord. And today, Golden Cross is one of the largest manufacturers of Jamaican paddies in the entire world. Our paddies can be found in the penal system, the school system, over 18,000 supermarkets, 33 military bases over the world, including the Middle East, where we are halal, 9 states and over 120 locations. Let me say that I wouldn't have made it without having the 4 Ds, the drive, the discipline, the determination, and the desire. I want to encourage all of you, especially the young people, and this organization to focus on building a lasting legacy. It has been said that success is 1 part inspiration and 2 parts perspiration. I have traveled all the way from New York to tell you that nothing is impossible when you put your trust in God. I have stopped by to tell you, if you're going to build a legacy, you must remove the word impossible from your vocabulary. I have stopped by to tell you to get rid of expressions that limit your abilities. I have stopped by to tell you, let no man stop you from fulfilling your dreams and aspiration. Execute your vision. Vision without execution is nothing more than hallucination. The vision stretches, the vision sends, but at the end of the day, it empowers. At the end of the day, it's satisfied. You have to know where you're going to get to where you are going. I dare you to be bold. I dare you to invest in our people and use this organization of catalyst for change agent for our people. My friend, I want to let you know this afternoon that I have dreams and aspiration for our young boys and our young girls, that given the opportunity, they will believe and embrace the song that I stood boldly and sung some 45 years ago, and it goes something like this, that I am a promise, I am a possibility, I am a promise with a capital P, I am a great bundle of potentiality, I'm a promise to be anything that God wants me to be. The world is as big as your dream, so never stop dreaming. Do not let your zip code or your community determine your destiny. You may be a product of your past, but please do not be trapped in your past. Don't be afraid to dream big. Don't be afraid to dream alone. Only be afraid not to dream at all. Jimmy Cliffhankers it well and brilliantly. At last, persecution will come your way. Opposition will come your way. But win or lose, you have got to get your share. Now go forth and conquer the world. Go forth and get your share. May God bless you. And thank you very much.
You heard there from Lowell Hawthorne, the CEO of Golden Crust Bakery. A good time to take a break right now here on Power 106 FM. You're listening to our live coverage of the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. Back in a moment.
Someone's going to have to. His name is Sean Grant. Sean Grant holds an engineering degree from the Georgia Institute of Technology. His professional experiences includes founder and CEO of the media company J-Dye LLC, a former recording artist internationally distributed on Warner Electra Atlantic, and former director of spoken word group Destinations. Sean is a master of photography, videography, web and graphic design, audio production, sound engineering, rapping, and spoken word. His current conquests include the release of his latest album, The Wonder Years. That's available on iTunes right now. Co-hosting hit radio and television show Track Stars, and leader and artist of Track Stars music. And most importantly, he is the devoted husband of Mrs. Alfie Grant. Ladies and gentlemen, Sean Grant.
How you guys doing? I still don't understand what he sees in me. What is his reasoning for seeking out this weakling who still doesn't understand that he's teetering? Best thing to do when you're falling is to embrace the fall. Pretending like you're not falling will only cause you harm. Stretch out your arms. Brace for the embrace of God. It takes pain to take pain. It took pain to take pain. The blood stains on his hands wasn't a change in his plan. His stretched out arms to hold the whole world's pain in its span, and that was plan A. A young man, he understands your rage. But brush the chip off your shoulder, you are free to lay in his arms, he's strong. And when his arms seem gone, it's because you asked for space. He won't leave me alone. He won't leave me alone, he won't leave me. Oh no, I'm losing control. I'm usually composed. I usually can hold myself together. I'm completely exposed. How did he even know that I needed
Let's hear him.
I've been so completely opposed so recently. I still don't understand what he sees in me. What is his reasoning for seeking out this weakling who thinks that he's strong but he's weakening? I can't control the beast. This control freak in me that seeks to be in control when he knows he's teetering. The best thing to do when you're falling is to embrace the fall. Pretending like you're not falling will only cause you harm. Stretch out your arms. Brace for the embrace of God, who takes all these mistakes of ours and makes out of what we break a vase, a vase that he then takes and shapes and calls his kids. Places his heart innocent where places ours. He wants to erase your scars and straighten what braces what we say with our mouths and leg splints to strengthen our walks when everything around us falls. And when you thought would never ever happen, does. When they said that they would never leave, then they said that they would never leave again. When you've been praying for the same thing, the same thing, the same thing again and again and again, so you don't even know why you want it anymore. When your second and your third wind is gone and all that you have ever depended on fades, he still wants to take your place. He wants it all. He wants it all. Because he's the all-knower. He's a gardener that trims and prunes when you stop growing. He's a doctor that knows that something amazing is being birthed inside of you, even if you're not showing. He's your sleep interrupter when you need instruction. He's your peace when you're grumbling and fussing. He's the building plan. He's the blueprint. Everything you have, any problem you have, he is the solution. When you're single, he's your sugar. Substitution, you sing secret of mine. I still don't understand what he sees in me. What is his reasoning for seeking out this weakling who thinks that he's strong but he's weakening? I can't control the beast. This control freak in me that seeks to be in control when he knows he's teetering. The best thing to do when you're falling is to embrace the fall. Pretending like you're not falling will only cause you harm. Stretch out your arms. Brace for the embrace of God.
Spoken word artist Sean Grant. You're listening to Power 106 FM's live coverage of the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards here at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. Here's Ultra Washington
Next
MC.
we're going to have Congressman Hank Johnson. He will introduce
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I'll tell you, when my scheduler called me and asked if I were interested in introducing the Jamaican ambassador to the U.S. at this event on Sunday afternoon at I think 12 or 12:30. I said to her, yeah, I'll do it. And for some reason, they were saying that, you're going to do this between 12:40 and 12:50. For some reason, I was thinking that I was going to be able to, because I had another meeting I was at this morning in Atlantic Station. I was down there. So I left home early this morning to go down there, and then I kind of hung around down there and staged my situation so that I could, boom, be out here at the Ritz-Carlton Buckhead right around 12:30. I was going to swoop in and swoop right back. And then my wife had arranged for me to, in her mind, she hadn't told me this, but she was expecting me to be with her this early afternoon to go to Stonecrest Mall because there's a 30% but anyway, so I got here and I looked at the program and I said, wow, I'm way down on the program. Shoot the wife a text and let her know what's going on. And so it's been my honor to spend this time with members of the Jamaican community, my Jamaican friends, my Jamaican homies. sold that I was going to stay through the whole program once I heard from this gentleman, Barrington Irving, a very accomplished individual and someone who's traveled the world. I was impressed with that bug that he swallowed. And I was wondering which orifice it was going to. A weighted dinner. I can only imagine. But everything looked healthy down there. Report. And the Romanov sisters, are they still here? Yeah, you all did a fantastic job. I filmed your performance to send it to a friend of Israel, a friend of mine who's a real friend, a big friend of Israel. I wanted him to see that at the Jamaican affair, that they were featuring artists who were doing a rendition of Schindler's List theme song. Is that what it was? Yeah. Yeah, I wanted him to see that. And I also talked to him about you, sir, in your visit to Israel, because I wanted him to know that it seems to me that the Jamaican people are friends of Israel, and I don't know if he knows that or not. Enthusiastically typing and emailing while I'm sitting there going through all of this, and I know that Mr. Barrington, I'm sorry, Mr. Lowell Hawthorne was probably looking at me thinking that I was off somewhere else while I was doing my typing and everything, but I was right here. I was listening, and I was taking it in. And I did not mean to be disrespectful. But speaking of accomplishments, to talk with Mr. Lowell Hawthorne and his sister, Jackie Hawthorne Robinson, they are spectacular individuals, very accomplished, to be able to take a business 26 years ago with one store, and you heard about the experience, but he didn't tell you that he's now got 124 stores, over 13 states, and still growing. This is an American story, the Jamaican people achieving the American dream. I'm so proud and so happy to be amongst you, to be learning of your accomplishments. I'm so proud of you. Mr. David Cutting, Honorary Consul from Barbados. Where are you, sir? Yeah, he came up to introduce himself to me, and so I had to look him up as well to see what and I found out that this very accomplished gentleman is an international, in addition to being consul, honorary consul to us, that he is an international consultant and businessman, actually connecting Africans, Americans, and the Chinese, doing things on that kind of a scale, very quietly, but a very accomplished gentleman. And I can only look into y'all's faces and imagine all of the things that you all have done that I have no knowledge of, or perhaps many others do not. But I just want to say how humble I am to be here in your presence, and I just want to learn so much more about you and your community. And so it's with great pleasure that, and then looking at Dr. Bryan and her husband, and seeing, I'm listening to her, I'm seeing her in action from the time I walked to the green room, and she's directing me back in here, got me some tea, just sat me down. I'm looking at her handling all of the business of this banquet that we're feeded with today. And I'm listening to her talk to folks about hooking up others for franchises tonight before it gets on the plane. And tell your husband what to do. Gotta be a great man to have such a great wife. And so, I mean, great people. So, anyway, I'm just humble Hank Johnson, Georgia's 4th Congressional District. It's a pleasure for me to be here today at your Inspirational Luncheon and Award Ceremony for 2017. I want to start by commending Dr. Bryan, President of the Bryan Center, and I want to also recognize Microsoft. She was here, very great partner, and you all are the Microsoft's educational partner in the Bryan Center. And I want to thank everyone who had a hand in coordinating this financial freedom through STEAM event. And I am here to introduce another spectacularly competent and qualified individual. Her name is Audrey Patrice Marks. She became Jamaica's ambassador to the United States on the first occasion back in May of 2010. And she has recently resumed that responsibility as ambassador to the United States in September of 2016. So that makes her the only person to serve as Jamaican ambassador to the U.S. twice. She was born in St. Mary, Middlesex, Jamaica. You know? And she graduated from Marymount High School in Highgate. How about that, young man? She received her, and by the way, her bio is in the program, the same one that I was going to give. So I'm not going to repeat it, but I will tell you that in sitting there talking to her, I asked her, when did she first decide on what she wanted to do when she got older? And she said, I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but she found out what she wanted to do when she got to college and when she started working while she was in college. And it was as a businesswoman kind of doing things in business that she decided that she wanted to do business. She went ahead and got her degree from Nova Southeastern University's H. Wayne Huizenga School of Business and Entrepreneurship in Florida. She worked for Jamaica Air while studying for her bachelor's degree, and following college, she launched and managed 6 businesses, including a real estate development firm, a transportation company, a venture capital operation, and a banana exporting farm. And in 1997, she founded Paymaster Jamaica Limited, a consolidated bill payment agency boasting more than 1.4 million customers and more than $40 billion in annual transactions. This has got to be something that is an artery for the homeland of Jamaica. And I mean, I'm serious about it. It's like an artery carries blood. And so to bring banking to people who are underbanked, and I know that Jamaica being black, that is underbanked. She has brought banking to, or at least bring banking options banking-like options to people to enable them to participate in this global economy. I mean, that's quite exceptional. In 2003, she became the chairperson of the Tourism Product Development Company. And in May 2010, she took over as Jamaica's representative to the Organization of American States, and she serves as deputy chairman of the Urban Development Corporation, chairman of the Central Wastewater Treatment Company Limited, director of the board of RWTT Securities Jamaica Limited. She's Jamaica Trade and Invest, the National Health Fund, and the University of West Indies Mona School of Business. She's also the first female president of the American Chamber of Commerce of Jamaica. She and her husband, who is an electrical engineering consultant, his name is Giselle Dunstan, have 2 daughters, Morgan and Madison. You can read the rest of her bio. You can read her bio in the program. But without any further ado, I'm proud to present to you Ambassador Audrey Marks.
Prepares to speak.
Thank you so much, Congressman Hank Johnson. We forgot to tell you about a thing called Jamaica time.
I know it now.
We thank you so much for making the time to be with us today. Your presence has enhanced this occasion and is yet another way that you show you care, this commitment that you have both to your district here in Atlanta, in Georgia, and in Washington, D.C. I was very impressed reading about your congressman, just your resilience also, backing back from illness and just always carrying the fight for your people. Pleasure to meet you. Madam MC, my namesake, Audrey means strong, hardworking. Very nice to meet you. Mr. Gregory Bryan and Dr. Elaine Bryan, also the patron of this transformative foundation that bears your name. Your very supportive board of directors and team members. Congratulations on this your 7th Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon. Congrats, round of applause. Honorary Consul Joel Scott, Honorary Consul from Barbados and other members of the Diplomatic Corps, my fellow amazing presenters, other distinguished guests, awardees, students, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What should I say good evening? What? The Elaine Bryan Foundation philosophy. What do you want to do with what you have determines what you become. That's so powerful. Yeah. This is Elaine's philosophy also. So I want to again congratulate you as president and founder for undertaking the initiative of establishing this foundation. I also want to congratulate Mr. Gregory Bryan for the critical role you're playing in supporting Elaine and designing the foundation programs. The mission of the foundation to improve the achievement of students by providing education, empowerment, and mentorship services, while inspiring them to dream big and connecting them to opportunities. This is being achieved right here today by virtue of this event and all that it represents. This is, again, congratulations. On behalf of the government of Jamaica, I commend the Elaine Bryan Foundation. We are grateful to all the successful individuals, many in the audience today, from Najassum, the Jamaica Atlanta Chamber of Commerce, and all the other diaspora groups that have put together to commit to helping by establishing foundations and other ways to help Jamaica. We appreciate your work, and I thank you. I'm therefore very pleased to see the number of young persons in the audience today. Many of you are recipients of scholarships and awards. I congratulate you for being singled out for your outstanding achievements as students. In this technologically advanced world, it was seen that there has never been a greater time to be involved in STEM education, where its focus on science, technology, engineering, and mathematics is needed. Indeed, innovation and entrepreneurship is a place to be at this time. However, I note the balanced approach being taken by the organizers of this function in recognizing the importance of arts in the theme of financial freedom through STEAM. I support this intrinsic link that must be established between the two in developing a holistic education through engagement with the arts. Today, though, I will take a few liberties with the STEAM acronym and introduce, or rather substitute, entrepreneurship for engineering. As I think back on my life as an entrepreneur, there are two thoughts that I really want to focus on and share with you today as we look at the journey of financial freedom through entrepreneurship. The first is the importance of education and learning. Many of you know my story. I do not need to go back through it. From a small district in St. Mary to becoming a serial entrepreneur, and today also Jamaica's ambassador to the United States. I'm best known for creating Paymaster online payment system, the first of its kind in the region. And back in 1997, actually one of the first in the world. The other company, American Payment System, actually started that same year. So the lesson in that is that ideas are not unique. It's to act first and best. To take the courage, to have the courage to go with your ideas and also to stay with it, to persevere. Today it's becoming more and more improbable to compete and build a financial wealth in any career without the skills a good education provides. By no stretch of imagination am I an academic. I have never liked the rigors of school. Recently, I was looking at my high school yearbook. And, before I was looking at the Immaculate Conception High School yearbook. Before I do that, let me go back to when I went to Miramont High School. I was known as Jamie. And they called me Jamie because at that time, you had Steve the band man and Jamie the band woman. And now you see her and now you don't. That was why they called me Jamie. At Immaculate, when I looked at the yearbook, they had a little thing beneath my name that said, Immaculate's only part-time student.
Oh, Jesus.
Today I'll probably be diagnosed with some sort of attention deficit disorder. I was always trying to find ways to leave school early. And while I was there, I was always dreaming of all the things in this world that I can do, apart from staying at the But I persevered, and I went on to the University of the West Indies. Although after one term, I went and got a job. That was just not my thing. I never checked if anyone else has done this, but I lived on the university campus, did a full-time degree, had a full-time job at Jamaica, and also started to run a business on campus. I missed many of my day classes, but caught up with the night classes. The wonderful thing about being being a working student was that I could pay other students to tutor me on areas I missed, to do my research. My only stress, real stress that I had was that I had to sit the exams by myself. But again, I persevered and went on to graduate school. And believe it or not, I went on to even start a PhD program at the Nova Southwestern University School of Business and Entrepreneurship. In fact, I chose that school because it was the only school that I saw that had entrepreneurship in its name. At the time, I did my usual. After one term, I started a new business in real estate. And, you know, it was amazing in Florida at that time. There's so much interest in doing business in Jamaica. I did one radio interview and I got so many calls from persons who wanted to buy property in Jamaica. So I finally became a dropout. I did not finish that PhD program. So the only difference between me and Dr. Panton over there, Dr. David Panton, was that he actually finished a PhD, and today it's called Dr. Panton, and I'm just Miss Marks. So while the lure of money got to me, and I finally dropped out, I did so with the understanding that I would be making substantial income from what I was going to pursue. So I'm not encouraging any of the young people here to become a dropout unless you know that you are going to be like the famous college dropouts who have gone on to become billionaires. That's still my hope. The serious part of this is that I'm absolutely clear that I'll not be standing here today speaking with you in this position without a conscious decision that I've made early in life to continuously pursue formal education and learning. I also want to emphasize the difference. I'm encouraging all the young people here today to embrace the pursuit of formal education. But I'm encouraging everyone here today to continuously pursue a life of learning. Read and be curious. Like a child is always asking, what is that? What are you doing? What causes that? Elaine, that's saying what? It never goes out of style if you remember. What we do with what we have determines what we become. The second idea I want to share with you is to develop an entrepreneurial mindset. Statistics show over 50% of students entering college in 2017 will be self-employed or will freelance at some point in their careers. Dr. Glenn Lamont, I saw you earlier, Mrs. Lamont, yes. I remember a number of years ago you did a study in Jamaica and published a book on Jamaican entrepreneurs. In that book, I think you mentioned that I was probably one of the few entrepreneurs who had a degree. Those days are over. We are in different times. The major inventions of the world is now happening in a few months, not a few decades like before. It took 25 years before the aircraft reached the market, 7 years before the internet. If you have an iPhone like I do, you realize every year it's changing. Things are just moving so much faster. Different industries are popping up. Now someone is going outside and they will say, I'm going to take a taxi, or they're going to say, I'm going to take an Uber. We didn't know that term a couple years ago. The biggest transportation system in the world, Uber. The biggest hotel business in the world, Airbnb. The biggest bookstore in the world is not even a bookstore, Amazon. So we are in different times. And it's very critical that to respond to these times, you must develop an entrepreneurial mindset. There's no better way to prepare for the 21st century. Whether you aspire to work for a large company, start your own business, go into public service or into academia, the entrepreneurial mindset is the emphasis is on developing skills, not just starting businesses. It is what you do. It is not what you do, it's how you think.
entrepreneurial mindset are creativity, resourcefulness, courage, resilience, and passion. And as I think of the example of creativity and resourcefulness, you know, I saw a Facebook joke, and I'm very nervous about giving jokes because I'm not very good at it. But Mr. Laurel Hawthorne and Dr. Panton told me that if the joke don't work, they will buy the drinks. I want to share with you this joke about it, because I think it just emphasizes creativity and resourcefulness. It's I can't find it, have it online, it's technology. Anyway, let me try and remember it. The story was about the National Poetry Competition. Some of you might have seen it, and I know some of my Facebook friends are here today. Thank you for responding to the invitation to attend today. The story, though, is about Georgia Tech graduate. So he did finish. He had started to do literature, to become and he wanted to be a dog poet, but he decided to follow his passion and go into ITIL farming. You know, Whole Foods had made it known now as organic, but he went into ITIL farming. Congressman, that is what the Rascals in Jamaica discovered many years before organic farming became a thing. So he decided, you know, he wanted to do farming, and so he gave up on his dream. Mr. Ward, he decided not to be a dog poet, but to go into farming. But he decided to enter the competition. And the competition was, you're just given one word, and you had to create a short poem with that one word. And the word that was given was Timbuktu. The Georgia Tech graduate went up and he created a nice short poem. I was walking through the desert with my caravan going along the sand. I can't remember. Hold on a second. One moment. I really wanted to know this word because it really exemplifies. Oh, here it is. It says, slowly across the desert sand trekked a lonely caravan. Men on camels 2 by 2. Their destination, Timbuktu. A big applause went up. Many thought there's no way this Rasta could top that. But the Rasta man calmly went up to the microphone and said, me and Tim went on the road. Steve stopped. I can't believe I can't remember how to read patois, but let me try. Me and Tim went on the road. 3 thieves stopped we and 1 we load. They were 3 and we were 2. So we bought 1 and Tim bought 2. You know, we're here today also to understand that life is not smooth and easy, that we're going to have challenges. And a part of the characteristic of an entrepreneur is resilience. And those of you who have started businesses know how difficult it is to start, how difficult it is to grow, and many times it includes failure, but that is okay. And so I just want to share with you now one of my biggest challenges in doing business, similar to what you heard earlier with the party crisis. In 2013, I went back to Jamaica, and shortly after, the biggest contract that Paymaster had was terminated. We lost 1/3 of the business, and that was the most lucrative contract. So I was immediately facing bankruptcy. Someone came and offered to buy the company at a very low price, it would be a fire sale. And I thought, you know, I'm tired of all the struggles of doing business. Let me just sell this company. I can always start another one. But just before I did that, I got a call. And the gentleman, it was a gentleman who had come to Jamaica and taken over the Shell gas stations. We had lost just about 60 branches, over 100,000 customers with that contract. And he called me and said, you know, I want to speak with you because we're looking to put a paymaster in every one of our locations. We are looking to, you know, have this service. And I asked how many locations, and he said 60. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a God. It would be immediately replaced in all the locations. And so I was immediately happy, but something within me didn't feel right. And I want to emphasize this because as people, we have a thing called instinct. Yes. And when you embrace your entrepreneurial mindset, you embrace your instinct. And it didn't feel right. And I thought about it and I said, if I go back into one contract to replace 60 locations and that contract gets cancelled at any point, I'll be back to where I'm starting. So I had to politely say no, thank you. And realized that the lesson in this was that I could go out and make 60 contracts so that no one person could have that sort of impact on the business again. And so I just wanted to share that to say that in every situation, there's a learning. You know, normally, you know, own your copyright to your party. You all have stories. And for the young people, I want to say, when you come upon something that looks like it's going to cause you to go out of business or to it's the end of your career, look like you're not getting to the college of your desires, there is a reason for it, and you need to just take a little time to see what is the reason behind this immediate disappointment. There's usually a good reason that will now lift you to the next level of your life. Because out of that experience, I realized that I could change the business, transform it from the way that I had started 15 years ago, put more technology into it, utilize the exposure that I've gotten to international markets. And in so doing, I was able to make the business much more attractive so that the next offer that I got quadrupled what I had gotten any time before. Wow. So we learn, you know, from some of these disappointments, and that's about resilience. And the last characteristic that I want to speak on is taking risk. It's okay to get out of your comfort zone. The stories that you're hearing today from persons are all persons who could stay where they are and be comfortable. Congressman Johnson had a good law practice. He did not have to take on being a congressman and some of the challenges that come with that. I'm not coming to you yet, Cassie. You could have given up or tried some other sort of business in your family. You decide to go and continue. So it's okay to take risk. I don't know what the sort of risk that Captain I'm a career, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I embrace risk, and I was looking at that presentation, and I'm like, I can't go that far. I want to say that, you know, Steve Jobs said, it's okay to be called crazy. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. And part of being an entrepreneur, they say the only difference between an entrepreneur and the person that you see get locked up in the asylum is that we entrepreneurs somehow manage to convince people who can't see the things that we're seeing that they can buy into what we're seeing and invest with us and believe that we're safe. The ones that are locked up, people couldn't see what they are seeing. So that is all life is. But we have, I just want to know, I hope I have a few minutes because I want to just end by having young people get an opportunity to just probably ask a few questions of myself, Captain Barrington, Laurel, just ask a few questions from the presenters who are here. And maybe some in the audience, we have our honored council here, we have Dr. Phantom there, some of the leaders in this area. I just want to open the floor for a minute or two regarding questions, because we can speak of our experiences, where you are at now, if there's anything in particular you want to hear. I just want to know if you wish to have a moment or two to ask a few questions. You're okay? All right. Well, let me close by telling your persons that when you want to ask questions, do not be afraid to ask. Be bold in your ideas and pursuits. Follow your dreams. Every great invention starts with a dream. And I firmly believe that if you can dream it, you can make it happen. Let no one dissuade you from taking your place in society. Your race, your background, where you live, or any other negative label society may impose on you must never discourage you from becoming what you want to be. In the famous words of Desperado, you are the child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Thank you so much for sharing.
Ambassador Audrey Marks, Jamaica's ambassador. Oops. Ambassador Audrey Marks, Jamaica's ambassador to Washington and permanent representative to the Organization of American States, addressing this Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards here at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead in Atlanta, Georgia. We're going to clear our backlog of commercials and come back to get ready to wrap up our broadcast here from Atlanta to the studios.
What the program has done is diversify education's playing field. It has promoted a variety of STEAM career pathways and provides students resources that cannot be found in the school system. This internship has taught me a lot. It's taught me how to work in a professional setting. It's taught me how to market and network. But most importantly, this internship has guided me to see the substantial changes that need to happen within education. So, going to high school and being in college right now, I believe the most important approach in education that we should pursue is having a paradigm shift in how students perceive education. So what does that mean? A paradigm shift in how students perceive education. How many of you guys would rather work or watch Netflix? Netflix, right? Exactly. So the only difference between students are the ones who can do that, but then see the long-term benefit of education, and then still grind, hold the all-nighter, get the work done, and do well in classes. Then there are those who don't do that. So why is it that some students, we all see education as an obligation on a short-term scale, but why is it that some others decide to just quit and not pursue education and not value its effects? I come from an immigrant household. Starting from a very young age, I was instilled with the idea
needed background to succeed through education. America only guarantees you the American dream through education. Following this principle, my parents enrolled me into different clubs and activities. From a young age, I was in drawing, I played violin, piano, flute, I swam, and I did track and field. So I realized that I'm very, very fortunate to have parents who value education inside of school and outside of school. But other kids aren't as fortunate as I am. So I realized that the difference between upper class families and lower class families is that lower class families, their parents usually work more physically laborious jobs. This leaves no room for them to spend time with their kids and ask them how they're doing in school and enroll them into clubs that I've been in. So having that in your mind, you realize that perhaps it is the parents' jobs to make sure that their children are successful. But we cannot, as a nation, depend on the parents to do this because every household is different. Every household has different circumstances and different hardships. So how do we as a nation implement that into a school system? There are after-school programs like YMCA and Boys and Girls Club who will take these students out on the streets and make sure that they have good influences. And this is crucial because this basically, YMCA and Boys and Girls Club can act as a parent for the children. But what the Elaine Bryan Foundation Microsoft program does is further that and introduce how you can apply education. In school, we are given a toolbox and taught how a screwdriver and perhaps a hammer, their definitions, what are their functions. But what I would like to see in education is how we can use this toolbox to solve real-world problems. Captain American Urban's program, I think, does an excellent job of that because you're showing kids how you can apply STEM into solving real-world issues. So, you know how I said earlier that I would rather be chilling and binge watching and socializing than working, right? I didn't actually finish my speech. I don't have a conclusion yet, but I was actually writing it over there on that table. I think I'll end by saying I hope that you guys can see what I mean when I say a paradigm shift in how students view education. Because I believe right now that at Georgia Tech, I'm witnessing a lot of students who are trying to break traditional education. They're creating resources by providing online classes so that all kids can have accessibility to it. But that's just providing your resource. How can we get your kid to actually use it? So I hope you take that into consideration. And to educators, I hope that you individualize your time with the students and try to pull out their potential. Because that is what I'm going to be trying to do as I continue my education at Georgia Tech.
Would you like to have a last chance to get a raffle ticket? Now's the time.
In the advertising world, radio is frequency, and frequency sells. Talk to us at Power 106 FM about our super amazing features, which offers an effective advertising campaign. Gives you high frequency with up to 70% discount. Yes, 70% discount. An advertising package that works. So is our
for the final time this afternoon, coming to you live from the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards here at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. We'd certainly like to thank our technical team at home and abroad. Thank you very much, Safika Powell. Thank you, Cara Hoslin. Thanks to the Elaine Bryan Foundation for having us on board and helping us to continue to market and promote Power 106 FM across the diaspora by virtue of our association with this event, the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards. In fact, Dr. Bryan is on the platform right now, getting ready to make some other announcements in terms of the raffle that they have right now. The number of Jamaicans who have turned out for this event is quite large, and although several of them have already left, the majority are still here. This is America, so time is even more precious here. Those who do more than one job and others who have other obligations. The thank yous are going around the room right now. Various individuals, institutions, and organizations. Dr. Bryan thanking Golden Crust at the moment for their continued listenership, in terms of giving a listening ear to the Elaine Bryan Foundation. And in fact,
I'll contact them. I'm very good at contacting folks. And I'll get everybody on the planet who know about Golden Crust. Just leave it to me, and I don't need no money. I'm okay. I'll take care of Golden Crust because you took care of me, and that's how I live my life, all the time. I reciprocate, I don't believe in taking, I give. So I want to thank all of you for coming. And still coming up, Dr. Pottinger, that she likes a lot of money now. She said money runs the world, Dr. Bryan, slow down. So she's trying to get more money for the students. And then we have Gregory can come and draw with Miss Audrey Washington. Could you guys stand and give a big applause to Miss Washington? Without her, that could not this is their day off. This is their day off. And all of you private folks, work up a trip for her for the fees, work up a trip for Wally, so we can really show her the Caribbean way. Is Trinidad here? Where is Miss Joyce? Could Miss Joyce come up, please, Joyce? Because I want Mr. Hawthorne to know about Trinidad. When I started my little dream, Trinidad jumped on board and helped me. So I just want to thank her, Miss Joyce, for all she has done to help me when I dreamt about doing this. She helped me got the tables together. I didn't have to be calling one per, another one per. I like groups, tables. And so I just want to thank all of you tables people. You know what I'm talking about. Thank you, thank you.
You've been listening to the irrepressible Dr. Elaine Bryan as she thanks a number of individuals, institutions, and organizations who have supported and continue to support the efforts of the Elaine Bryan Foundation, as reflected in this afternoon's program. Here is Dr. Bryan's husband now to do the honors in terms of the gate prizes, or as they say here in America, door prizes. And a couple of possibilities of trips to Jamaica. And while that is happening, we're going to have a word with Tony Gray of the Jamaica Atlanta Association. So he's really Tony Gray now. That's the first time I'm seeing him gray. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thanks, Dervan. How are you, man?
I'm good, thanks. Thank you so much. Are you still PRO for the Jamaica Atlanta Association?
Well, actually, I'm the vice president now.
Well, congratulations.
For the past, is it 2 years or 3 years, Clover? Dervan is asking me how long I've been vice president. But I do believe it's been 3 years.
Oh, it's 3. Okay.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm. All right, so as vice president, what are your thoughts on the role of an organization like the Elaine Bryan Foundation here within the community and also beyond this community, serving to inspire Jamaicans at home as well?
Rather, it's been robust, as a matter of fact. Patronize Elaine in every effort. You know, what she's been doing for the kids in this STEAM program is just absolutely fantastic. She's a hard worker, and she's, as you see before, all her graduates, she's been truly a help for these kids getting through college.
Yes. And what about your organization itself? Give our listeners a sense of where you are right now, if you could give us a status report.
Oh, certainly. Of course, you know, we're one of the most robust. We're the biggest Caribbean association here in Atlanta. And as you know before, we foster goodwill for people. We also, very important, we also have the Independence and Scholarship Awards. Our Independence Ball will be on August 12th. Of course, the biggest Caribbean event happens in Atlanta every year. We certainly look forward to that, but also with the scholarship we award to Jamaican students and those in Atlanta. We're going to be awarding 4 scholarships to Jamaican students in Jamaica, and then also students here in the Atlanta area.
Must be quite a task deciding which students are chosen.
It's certainly a task, but we have a good, we have an educator on board, and really a team that they send in an essay. And they go through the essay and really pick the best and more likely needed students.
Yes. And so your next big fundraiser would be the Independence Gala then?
Yes, well, we have quite a few fundraisers, you know, that's all we do, because the money we make, we put it right back out. We have a Jazz in the Park coming up next month, June the 3rd. And of course the Independence Gala will be on
the 12th of
August. And you know, we have, of course, Fab Five will be here.
Oh,
so,
wow.
You know, that's going to be a blowout. Yes, indeed. Okay. So we're certainly looking forward to that. And it's hard work, but we enjoy doing it.
Clearly you do. How can listeners at home and abroad follow the work of the Jamaica Atlanta Association?
Okay, well, of course, we have a website, the AtlantaJamaicanAssociation.org, also a Facebook site, which is Atlanta Jamaican Association. And of course, you know, I can always be reached locally. You know the deal. Yeah, but the website tells a lot. You can get on the website, and we also have the news, what's going on in Jamaica. So we basically inform everyone here all the happenings in Jamaica. And thanks to you for doing such a good job. I've been seeing you all over the world and wish I was there.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. All the best.
Thank you, Dervan. Appreciate it.
Good. Take care. There you have it. That's Tony Gray, of the Vice President of the Atlanta Jamaican Association, speaking with us as we wrap up our broadcast. We'd like to once again thank all those who have had anything to do with Power 106 FM's broadcasts here in Georgia. We'd like to thank Kirk Ellis of KP Ellis Group for the tremendous support that his organization continues to give to the work of Power 106 FM. We thank once again the Elaine Bryan Foundation, and more importantly, we thank you, our listeners and viewers alike, those of you who have been watching us on Facebook Live, and those of you who have been listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. Thank you so much for making it Power 106 FM for live coverage of the Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. Till you join us again from another place at another time, this is Dervan Malcolm returning you to the studios of Power 106.
Access
to control your appliances.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Let me double check the tickets. 064. Yep. We got the tickets. All right.
All right, let's see how quickly we can get out of here. Yeah, I generally keep it up. Like by the time I finish back up, that's the last thing I can do to shut down.
On behalf of Parkland Jackson, Atlanta International Airport, the world's busiest and most efficient airport. The total appreciation coming down. Thank you. Same story.
This is for you. You're invited. You can let them.
Okay, I'll be sure to publicize it.
Yes, please.
Mm-hmm.
If they're
I
coming
will.
up, let them know, you know, you all know
Yeah.
Fab Fives.
No problem. I'll
Always
be
a
more than
pleasure
happy
seeing
to.
you.
Same here.
Thanks, Dervan.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming out today to support us. We really appreciate it. We hope you enjoy it. We hope you are inspired. We all can do something good in the world. Thank you so much. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you everybody for watching us on Facebook Live from this Elaine Bryan Foundation Inspirational Luncheon and Awards 2017 in, well, at the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead, Atlanta, Georgia. We'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.